one of the important points is to make sure you've got a very clean tip. And if you can see Ramon, he's cleaning the tip before he even starts. The size tip that he's going to use for quarter wall cement lined is a 3/0. The gas settings that everybody uses can vary a little bit. The acetylene he's going to use is about 5 pounds pressure, and he'll use 20 pounds on the oxygen. To cut something this thick, some of the guys will use 25 and some will use up to 30, and it's just kind of a personal preference. For Ramon, he likes 20 pounds. The difference would be the travel speed, how fast you're going to cut, and a little bit of the angle of the way you hold the torch. Okay, what Ramon's doing here is just lighting the torch and adjusting the flame. And then what he'll do, he'll hit the oxygen lever, and you can see right now that he's looking to make sure it's clean. You'll see the oxygen jet with the black, almost like a wire. Right now what he's doing is preheating the pipe a little bit just to get the moisture out of it. It makes the cutting a little bit easier when it's moist. If you watch, he's preheating the pipe, and he'll preheat it cherry red. Right before he starts to cut, he'll tilt the torch into the upward a little bit so that the flame is kind of at a push angle. He's not pushing the trigger all the way down. He's kind of feathering it. He might have, depending upon how the pipe's cutting, if it's blowing the inside out, he'll let a little bit off. He could have it 50% down, 70% down, but he'll work the trigger or the oxygen lever in and out a little bit. Other than that, the things to notice are how the slag's coming out the back and the angle of the torch. He just stopped and he repositioned. Notice that he's starting about 1/4 of an inch behind. He's starting back in the kerf about 1/4 of an inch behind. That's important. If you start right where you left off, you're going to have a chance to make a skip on the inside of the pipe. Again, a couple of things to notice and pay attention to is the angle that he's holding the tip as he's cutting up, and the way the slag's coming back out of the pipe where he's making the cut. Couple of things to notice. He's starting about 1/4 of an inch back when he starts to cut, and also the angle of the cutting tip, how he's pushing that flame just a little bit. When he comes to the seam in the pipe, he'll slow down just a little bit to make sure he gets all the way through the seam. Right now what he's doing is just putting some 4x4s under the pipe so that it doesn't fall and hit the ground. It'll bend the pipe, it'll crack the cement if it falls off the sleepers and lands on the concrete. You want to make sure that your tip is always clean. He's cut quite a ways with the tip before having to clean it off. I've seen times where you have to clean the tip 3 times in 1 foot. The point is to make sure that your tip is clean. If you have a dirty tip, the oxygen the cutting orifice for the oxygen will flare out, and you won't get it'll be difficult to precisely cut through to the cement. The kerf will spread out. It just makes it harder. Yeah, what he's doing now, he went around to the other side, so when he cuts it, he's not leaning on the piece that's gonna fall off. You want to pay attention so that you don't start cutting parts off that are going to fall on you and injure you. Okay, if you notice, when he starts, he'll start about a quarter, 3/16 back from where the cut left off, so that he makes it all the way through. Has a little bit of a tilt on his tip. And he's finished. Okay. Okay, a perfect cut for cement line pipe. Can you get a close-up of the edge? Okay, let's, if you'll notice that the inside of the cut against the cement, notice that it's not blown out. The cut almost looks as good as if there was no cement in there. It takes some practice and experience to do this. It's a little bit different than cutting pipe without concrete in it, because you can't pull the trigger on the oxygen and just try to blast through. What will happen is you'll melt the pipe away, you'll blow the inside edge out, and you'll make a really ragged cut.